This is the Healey Brothers Podcast.
So first off, welcome to Healey Pod. We're at FDR High School today. We're going to talk about building the future and the Roosevelt Racing team. Dan here, who is in charge of a lot of our social media, set this up and thought it was a great opportunity for us to start sponsoring and getting involved with, first off, students. That's why we're here, is to learn about students and help them and support them in this. So we have Lisa, Sean, and Derek with us from FDR, from the FDR team. And I just want you guys to first off just introduce yourselves, tell us a little about the program, and then we'll get started.
You want to start?
Yeah, Sean Christensen. I'm fortunate enough to teach a build class here at FDR, where we get a Factory 5, this year MK5 kit. And we start with a frame, a body, and about 60 plus boxes of parts that the kids will assemble throughout the course of the year up until about the last week of March when we got to wrap it up.
Cool. So my name's Derek Zimmerman and I teach visual communications. We're in charge of the social media aspect of the project. So it's our job to create content and, promote our program through various social media channels. Like we have a YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. So the kids are in charge of making that content, making sure it matches our audience. And
it's the future we live in with all the social media nowadays. You can't live without it. It's how you consume all the content. I'm still learning every day.
They know how to scroll through it, but they don't know how to use it. And that's, Derek teaches them actually it's a tool, it's not a toy.
Yeah, we're all good at watching it, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a whole different mindset of like approaching social media because it's so ubiquitous. That definitely is the biggest challenge is like, all right, so how do you make things that people want to watch instead of just watching things you want to watch?
We have a Tuesday meeting about it every single day. And first off, I'm learning more from them than they're learning from me, that's for sure. So yeah.
My name is Lisa. So I teach the marketing class, and I'm a career changer. So for me, this is all still relatively new. I have 25 years plus in marketing, so I'm a career marketing person.
So you started from the outside and came into this?
Yeah, and came into the school, so it's really cool. I'm a former fundraiser with the Culinary Institute of America. So to teach them things like fundraising and public relations, it's something that comes really natural to me.
Culinary Institute is not too shabby of a school, huh?
Yeah.
It is here.
The Harvard of culinary schools.
I didn't cook. I went to Johnson & Wales, so I didn't cook though. I went to business school there. I went and played a sport, which is very odd when people ask me, but sorry, I didn't start.
No. So I'm here to teach them the traditional way of how to market a product, and then collaborating and coordinating with build and social media to show them, this is how it's done in this digital day and age, but that there are other traditional methods like PR. And good old get on the phone and call people and ask them for money, for support, and don't be afraid of no, and perseverance and leadership and communication. It's a lot of what it's about.
I didn't have that in high school, so that would have drastically helped me. I got it in college a little bit, but even there I didn't get it. So getting it that early, I think still today we could say marketing a product is still one of the most important things you could do. As car industry, we're competing with a lot of different people, so marketing is definitely crucial. So Dan, just touch on how we got in touch with FDR and just give us a little background.
Yeah, so FDR local community presence for a long time, and this is a program that when I was in high school, I went to Lourdes. I graduated in 2014, so this was not around, and then all of a sudden it just popped up out of nowhere. FDR's involved, catch them now. All these schools are just populating and really getting involved, and this came. You guys reached out to us, we made the connection. I think it was a student last year.
Giuseppe, I think originally made the contact. Yeah,
and kind of back and forth conversation. Moved Jay in, and things kind of snowball from there. It's we're going on year 2 of the collaboration. It's really just remarkable to see the growth and evolution of the team and the kids. It's really remarkable to see like kids really their passion and their energy for it, because you guys have different backgrounds in terms of what you guys offer in the classroom, whether it's visual communications, marketing, or actually building hands-on. It's pretty cool to see, and it's something I think that more schools should be involved with, because it's not only a offering an educational component within a high school, but it's also real world, real life experience, because you guys do more than just inside the classroom work. You guys go out to, you're at SEMA, you're at your BMW a few weeks ago, so it's really invaluable asset, I think, to the kids.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's just been growing. Winter Circle project was founded by an alumni of FDR, so he was very passionate about getting us to sign on to it. And then obviously it spread to the local community. We got, John Jay, Arlington, Ketchum, Dover, Pine Plains, and Red Hook came for a tour this year too. So it's just really cool having an alumni come back and bring that kind of influence into the high school. And it's like the most common comment is, they didn't have this when I was in high school. And it's like, no, same for me.
I went to a small little high school, so, but when did this start again?
With the Winter Circle Project or for us?
Yeah, well, for both.
Winter Circle Project started right around when COVID came around. So it had a real slow start. And then we're in our 3rd year with it. And locally, all the other schools, 3rd year as well. It started kind of in the upstate school, Waverly and Owego, and Candor, I think.
Candor.
Yeah, we're like the first 3 schools to do the program.
Ithaca region, like Finger Lakes region, yeah.
That's up there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's an awesome program. So, and when my dad first saw the car and he like saw our branding on it, he was like wowed by it. He's like, these kids built that in high school. It's like, so it's super impressive. He loved every second of it. And like, to be honest, this is a perfect mix for our dealer group and you guys. I mean, we dream to sponsor and support kids like this. It's obviously, it's our passion. It's what we love to do. We love to see kids also work with their hands. It's a trait that I think is lost sometimes in the world. And it's also super important for us to move forward. And I can't tell you how important it is to us, the car dealerships. Like, we can't survive without them. We call them our biggest asset, and we'll do whatever it takes for a technician or someone that can actually build something with their hands. And we love the way those guys do, but just seeing kids do it and understanding it and having fun with it means the world to us. And again, it's all about the students. So let's break down these 3 student groups. If you guys want to really dig into this here, the build team. So I'll let you lead the way here, and then I'll jump in.
Build team, super cool. It's not just, a gearhead or a motorhead or a kid that just wants to be involved in it. I get, students who have no idea what a wrench is, and I got students who maybe fix their own car or something like that. So they kind of span all over the place. And you get this group of 12 students, and we approach it a little different than some of the other schools do. Mine is, I'd say 99% student built. We get the kid in, I give them the parts, I print off about a half a dozen copies of the manual, and I say, go at it. And it's a big team building, problem solving, collaborative effort that results in, what we have going on behind us here. And like I said, it's a tight time frame. We get the kits in September, and they haven't finished up. I think it's tail end of March. So it's a challenge.
Does any student join it, or is there certain?
They have to apply to be in it, sign up to be in it, and then it gets whittled down. I think we had about 50-something students sign up for build last year. And then the guidance department and administration looks at it, checks attendance, checks GPAs, and see who's really eligible and going to be a good candidate for this.
So what are the kids thinking about it so far? I mean, it seems like they love it.
They love it, they go from sitting down at the desk all day to in here. It's just like you come in and you get to work. There's not a whole lot of lecture. On rare occasion do I have something to go over, or if they're struggling with a thing, we'll review it before they start, but it's just a hands-on class. It's wild.
I just want to jump in. Sean, tell everyone what was the feedback from some of our alumni that were out at SEMA that are now in college. What were some feedback you got from those guys?
They were astonished at the fact that, a car from the other side of the country and, what is a relatively small town had made its way to SEMA and displayed itself so well. I mean, the amount of people that were just looking at the car and had no idea that it was just a student-built car from a high school in New York.
Like I said, my dad was absolutely amazed and loved it. Like my one brother is an absolute motor, like loves his trucks and stuff like that. And he's like, they were just awed by it. So I told them they gotta come see it. So this is my first time actually seeing it in person. I had missed the other events. It's incredible in person. It's even way better than the videos we see.
We nicknamed it too.
Oh, what was it?
It's called Black Lightning.
Black Days.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. That's spot on. I thought you were naming something. I thought you were gonna name it something else after like Dan or something like that.
Well, for
another, it's your Vitor. Always work it. So let's dig into the visual communications.
Yeah, so this whole project has been like a really new thing for me. Like, Sean is a tech teacher, and Lisa is in marketing, and then came into teaching. I'm an ESL teacher, and I run the AV club. And Yeah, I guess it's so
So well.
I was approached by the principal, and he said, "Hey, we have this opportunity to join this program. Would you be interested in doing it?" And I was like, "That sounds like it'd be fun." And I didn't know like really what I was getting into. And I mean, I'm so happy that I did. But you know, visual communications it's again like they're really getting into it. Like the kids don't know what they're really getting into either, because there's only so much you can talk about it in the guidance department and be like, yeah, you know, they do like social media and stuff, and like you get to make videos.
Stops there.
Yeah, and then they're like, yeah, okay, I guess.
You're gonna become a TikTok star.
Yeah. And some kids kind of have an idea of it because word is spreading now and all that. But some kids come in completely blind. And then here I am being like, we are going to make content every single day. We're going to make the logo for this whole entire thing. It's like that logo is really the basis of like a lot of our branding, and that bleeds into marketing, and like it comes back from you know, build, because they're picking the color of the car, and you know, they get tossed into this whole huge thing that's like multi-class, big team, like giant goal. So you know, we start with the logo, and then we pretty much immediately start working on content, and you know, kind of finding our legs, and you know, seeing what kind of tone we want to set, what our audience is, and all of that. And you know, it's finding a social media presence is really hard,
We know firsthand. It's not easy.
as you guys know. And I mean, and that's one of the great things about, you know, having Dan come in and meet these kids, is like they get to see, you know, this is a job that you can do, and this is an important skill to learn if that's something that you're interested in, you know, in the same way that marketing is, in the same way that build is. You know, you guys want to find technicians, but there are plenty of places that want to find social media managers and, you know, people who.
Oh, we like to find those too. We're good. We're always adding to our team content creators. So
Yeah, and you never know. The next one could be coming from FDR.
yeah, we'll have to keep sending these guys here so we get cherry pick the best ones.
A little scouting, you know.
If you guys don't mind.
Recruited.
Yeah, so we're, you know, focused on that. That logo is our first step, and then everything kind of leads out from there. You know, each year has gotten a little bit better, and you know, each year I get a different group of kids. Sometimes we do have overlap. Like I have kids from Lisa's marketing class last year that joined my class, and some of my kids from.
That must be that's a nice fix.
It is nice.
Yeah, they get a little experience. They already know what's gone.
That's like win-win right there.
Yeah, it's huge, and I mean that's, I feel like, helped a lot. But you know, making content that's relevant to this project and that people want to watch is like really the big challenge. And you know, they've been doing really great this year. I'm really super proud of our team, and you know,
Building a brand's not easy. I mean, we didn't do ours overnight, and it's taken us over 45 years to get some like real relevance and keeping it like we always talk about it. It's tying it back to the brand. Whatever you do has to remember it stands for the brand and ties back to the brand. You do certain things to always build it.
yeah, and just that idea of a brand is like pretty foreign to a lot of kids. Like they understand like making a funny video, but they don't really understand like this has to have a through line. This has to have like a consistent message of, you know, what's our story, what's our purpose, like what even is this? If you had to explain this to somebody, could you? And can you do it through, you know, something that'll keep somebody's attention for at least a few seconds? So it's a cool challenge.
Very well said.
And the logo too. I mean, me designing a logo, when you look at a logo, whether it's, you know, Nike, Kith, you know, anything, you look at that logo, you feel a certain type of way about something, emotions, energies, the colors. So really you have to zero in and make it ticks all the boxes, because it's
It's psychological.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a lot of it is psychological.
Whatever iteration of your brand they see, they have to tie it to whatever it is. So as long as they're tying it to, say for us, it's auto cars, fixing cars, we did our job for the most part. Obviously, you want to tie it to what you do in the community, how you build the community and stuff like that. But main thing is, like Dan said, you got to be able to feel that and know what that is right away. As soon as you see it, hey, car or whatever it is. So
like Carhartt, not to cut you off, but Carhartt, like I literally there, you know, blue collar, working hard, like warm, industrial, like can't get in your hands.
just kick those up for our technicians. New Healey hats, Carhartt.
It's also a fashion brand too now, though, I think.
Totally.
No, it's Carhartt fashion, not just Carhartt
The
workwear.
Carhartt.
It's the trends that go on. Probably a social media trend that happened or something.
And I mean, you're talking about your guys' logo and you get all this time and you get to like, really hone in on it. And then you get to decide on a logo and maybe you'll go through a few iterations and maybe
A
you'll
little modifications for social and a little back and forth.
update it through time, and we have to start over every year. So I have to, and I can't repeat stuff. Yeah. So it's its own like special thing of like, no, we have to just completely ditch what we did last year. And now we have to start from square one. Like Nike wasn't Nike until it became Nike. And we have to be like, we have to capture this in this logo right now.
Well, if Healey ever changes our logo, we're gonna come to you because you do it every year. So
Done with that? I need some shirt.
Yeah, no, we're actually really close. It's due at the end of the month. So fingers crossed.
well, that's pretty amazing. You have to do it every year, but it teaches so much.
Yeah.
And like I said, marketing will never go away. It's always a needed segment that for business. It's like if you don't market your product, you'll never sell it realistically, unless it's some breakthrough thing that you just don't have to. But that's very, 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 very rare. All right, so Lisa, let's get into it. The marketing aspect.
So we essentially, out of this whole year-long experience, we're the storytellers for the whole thing. And what does that look like? So for me, I start with the end first. I show the kids what happened the year before. Here was a presentation. This is the story that they told. What are you going to do this year? How are you going to do it better? I hope that you like to be in front of people all the time because you're going to be in front of people all the time. So for us, the guidance department will tell kids, usually if they've been in my introduction to business class, they've had experience with, presenting and, doing that whole thing. I have a podium in my classroom, a legit podium. And if they haven't, sometimes they're sitting in the classroom the first week of school like a deer in the headlights, like, oh my God, what did I sign up for? Some become so afraid that they might switch to Derek's class. Some just drop.
Being on camera is not easy either.
No, you find a few kids every once in a while are like, I really just like holding the camera.
So it really is about how do you tell that story? How do you have effective communication skills? How do you build on that? Can you build a good presentation to tell our story? Can you reach out to News 12 in Westchester to let them know we're having a car show? How do you do that? How do you write a press release effectively to do that? Even though it's just traditional marketing method, it's a good, good skills to know. But essentially, we tie all of that together. We have a newsletter that'll go out to the community. This year, with the car being a different color than our school colors, we've gone off-brand. Could we tie this into a cause? And we did, and we came up with something we're going to be doing, Lighted Up Blue for Autism, in conjunction with the color of the car, and a whole campaign around that. So it's awesome.
There's not many times when you go to a school where 3 different programs tie into one to support the same goal. Like that's pretty impressive. I think that teaches kids, for the students to learn that before they even have to go to college or even before they get a trade job right after, that's like an unfair advantage for the real world. It really is. You don't really see that. I can tell you right now, I didn't have that. I would imagine Dan, Nikki probably didn't have that of 3 programs working together, teaching you one thing. You're teaching how to market, work with today's tech, and then also sell a product at the same time. You're really selling a product. So that's like a dream come true. Like if students don't really know what you're doing for them, but they'll soon realize in 5 to 10 years.
We've had former students come back and they were like, you know what, we may not have necessarily appreciated why we're there, but now looking back, it's like, man, that was huge.
I didn't realize it in high school. Like high school was fun, get good grades, kind of figure out what I was going to do in college kind of thing. But like these skills they'll get here will actually really pay off in the future.
Yeah, it's big. And there's a 4th component to the program, which is only like a once a month meeting, but it's Pathways to Success. And that really just coaches the students in all of our classes as a whole unit on, who you are and where you're going.
Yeah. What do you make? It's so good.
Yeah, and helps them with job placement.
So good.
Job placement or, continuing their education and how they do that, without paying for it.
Yeah, they offer mentorship and guidance, scholarships, internships, and we've had kids.
Program keeps getting better every time I hear about it.
Yeah. We've had kids go into, in our school and other schools go into internship positions at Lime Rock, Dyson Racing. Some of them work for Winter Circle now. So some of the kids that were participants in the Winter Circle actually work there. This is leading to like.
Well, that's full circle when you see that as a teacher too. It's like impressive. Yeah, it's awesome. That's like, you feel rewarded big time.
Yeah, I'm excited for them every time. Like it's so cool to see them being like, really getting a benefit out of something. It's kind of esoteric when you're doing it and you don't, like you said, we don't really realize it until you're done. But, seeing somebody go from this and then getting like a real life experience or getting a job is like wild. That's not something you get from many other classes.
No, I would say this is definitely different. Yeah. All right, before we get into the big time, I want to ask you guys about the student impact, but let's talk about the fun stuff, which I'm sure the students really love, is the competition. When it comes down to that, it seems like we got a bunch of schools in here. So just tell us a little bit about that and what the students actually think about the competition. Because I know I loved it back in high school. That's all I wanted to do was compete. I was an athlete, so I loved every second of it in high school. So if you could just dig into that a little bit.
The competition aspect of it, so we have how many schools this year? 7, right?
7, yeah.
7. So Arlington, Ketchum, John Jay, Pine Plains, Dover, us, and Owego. So Owego is the only one in the Finger Lakes. Waverly was last year, but they're out this year and they should be back next year. The competition is a huge motivational factor. I mean, like you said, in high school, you want to compete. And even though it's for a trophy, only one trophy. So there is no there's no second or third or fourth place. There's figuratively, but there's only one trophy. So everyone's going for the same thing. But it's just a fun way of making this just that extra little bit, fun. I don't know how else to describe it.
The challenge to it is that it's not just the build, or it's not just, marketing. It's all the classes coming together as a team are going for that trophy. So
there's a lot of moving parts too. So that to have that same goal for that many people is impressive.
Yeah. So it's all our scores are based on, for my class, it's, how our logo fares, and all these are judged by industry professionals. So they get graphic designers to look at our logo. They get, people in marketing to watch Lisa's presentation at the end of the year. They send Sean's car to Alfred State Motorsports for its inspection. So it's inspected by people who are going into motorsports at college. And all of those scores get tallied up and added together, and that's how we see who wins. Everything affects everything else. And we certainly do pitch it, at least I do, that like, you're not gonna let John Jay make a fool out of you, are you? Like, you're not gonna let Ketchum make you.
Still bleed your colors of your school, so you got to show up.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in it to win it, for sure.
Yeah.
In terms of some feedback I heard that was so different than in years past, though. We went on a 7-school field trip to BMW, and then we had a networking event in Haverstraw. I heard so many kids say that, yes, they want to win, but that the whole experience in and of itself and growing as a person was just as important to them. And I hadn't heard that until this year.
It sounds like they're growing up pretty fast.
It's amazing.
Yeah, no,
it's a maturity level they usually don't have.
Yeah. Phenomenal. So, I mean, I think you guys are leaving one little thing out. Did you guys win it last year? Or?
I think we had one of the more appreciated car builds, which is why it was chosen by ACES, who's one of our big sponsors. They donate the fuel injection systems to the school. And they had an opportunity to have a show car in their booth, and they chose FDR's car because it thought it represented, what they wanted, and chose our car to go there. So it was huge. So it was pretty wild. That car went through Carlisle, Ford Nationals. It went to the London Cobra Show in Ohio, and it's been out to Vegas. So it's been around, and hopefully we're going to raffle it off in the next year.
That car had a better summer vacation than that.
I think better summer vacation than most.
Right, Derek, you mentioned competition. So, several schools in the, league per se. Now, is there like an unfair advantage in terms of maybe like resources or like sponsorships, or how does that, or really a level playing field with parts access? Or how does that usually work?
I mean, the fundraising is kind of up to the students, so some schools do better. Yeah, some schools do better, but I know, a lot of times they're putting in a lot of work to get those funds, and we do too, but, there is also some differences. Like some schools have more periods than we do to teach this class. Like some schools have double periods and some schools, may not. Like Sean only has a period and a half, basically. So every other day he has 2 periods. Yeah. But, like, I'd like to say it's a fairly level playing field.
For the most part.
For the most part.
We have certain, how, so this is a motor sport, but like with football teams that, in some schools, like, you got your football parents that may be very supportive. And it depends, it depends on the geographic area of the school. It depends on a lot of things, if they're going to help support. It's similar to that, I think.
So I think it's so diverse in the evaluation. It's like you can't, even if you don't have the money to buy the coolest car parts, so to speak, you don't need the money to bring up your marketing team or your VizCom team. So it's graded on so many aspects. I don't think there's an advantage or disadvantage.
And it's really we do get points for like extra cool stuff. Like we got cool turbos on last year's car and the wood dash and like fun stuff like that. That's not really like the big thing that they judge our cars on. It's really about build quality. So you could build a by the book car, the straight Factory 5 car, and still get a perfect score on your build. If it's impeccable and it's meticulous and it's built really well, there's nothing stopping you from having a perfect score on your build. So,
So we're taking it home this year?
I hope so. Yeah. I mean,
the competition's fierce. Yeah. It is, the challenge is out there, but I think we got a good team across.
The kids are locked into this year?
The kids are so locked in this year. I mean, it's just they gel and they mesh well together. So we've got to keep that going. And, depending on how they tell our story, that can make all the difference. So.
Wild how all 3 of these assets like work together. Like I would have never guessed.
yeah, how's that going in there?
Good. Leading so far.
Oh,
all right.
What's up? That's great.
Someone was close behind us, but they spun out. So now it's a good.
They have a simulator in the.
There's a simulator in there?
Yeah, we have an actual sim race going on. Oh, rush now.
It's a sim race going on. You guys taking 33-year-olds for students? All right, so we'll jump back in here and obviously we'll talk about what's in that room, which I wasn't aware of, a simulator.
Yeah. Well,
So the most important thing about this podcast is for us to support. I know we're Healey Brothers, we sell cars and service cars, but we do the podcast, do this content to help the local community, support groups like you guys, support schools. It's all about connecting with local businesses. Like if you look at it, we have businesses on there. We're not competing with them. We want to help them. We want to hear their story. And we all think it's very community tight. We're all here. We support you guys, but it's all about the students. So if you guys could just elaborate a little bit on the student impact you guys see and obviously where you see them and help them grow in your careers. We heard a little bit about it before, but I'd like to hear more about it.
Students, this year, they have taken over the class from me. I mean, I can't even state enough how empowered they are. They learn the basic tools and they've become project managers, marketing managers. If I say to them, I need 2 of you to go down to get, photo assets or video, like in a minute, like I don't ever have to check. They're never trolling the hallways or anything like that. They've just been just shown such great leadership skills this year at a very early stage. So I think that is just going to set them up, just for life in general.
Everything I hear is like the way you're setting them up to succeed in life is just from people skills to goal setting to competing. The workforce is a competitive workforce. So
but if you're in a real world, if you're in a real world situation and you have a team and you have to make key decisions about how you're going to move forward, it's up to them. I'm not going to tell you that. So the newsletter was a good example. There were so many oversights and I was like, I'm not going to say anything. They're going to find out. So it's us, plus there's a winner's circle coach coming in to help them navigate that. So I very well knew there were color corrections that need to be made. There was some typesetting and kerning that was just not good. I let them make the mistake so that they knew how to correct it. And I am so sure it will not happen again when they have to do the newsletter in the fall. So it's hard sometimes to take a step back and let them fall so that they can pick themselves back up. But maybe, you know, I'm still a new teacher. I'm learning to do that and just.
Failing sometimes is the biggest success you could have. So I know I knew best is when I get it wrong, and then I know not to make it again. Then you kind of own it, you earn it, and you move forward. You only get better. You have to fail to get better. Whether you like it or not, it's okay to fail, but you got to be willing to. So what else we got? I know we got some other good stuff.
Do you want me to go?
Go for it, yeah.
I mean, so when I do this class, I think of the things that like kind of I would have wanted out of something like this. Like, what kind of experience would I want? And you know, that helps kind of guide you. You know, you said like, I didn't get this in high school. So I'm like, well, what would I want out of something that, you know, in high school like this? And I mean, we work on deadlines. That's, you know, your homework's due on Friday is a deadline, but maybe not to the degree of this. Like, if our logo's not in, then it might not be scored, or we might lose points, you know, in the overall competition. And that's not just, oh, I didn't hand in my homework, so I guess I'll get a 0 for that. I'm taking points away from the entire team. You know, we have responsibility to our goals, and we have responsibility to the rest of the team. You know, it's not just about you, it's about everybody else. So deadlines are super important. And
These guys know deadlines. Oh yeah,
Deadlines are important.
I have some tight deadlines, so yeah, that's for sure. It music to my ears when you say that. I'm glad you're teaching them young. They're already looking good for Healey Brothers.
wouldn't it be great that, you know, if you showed up and you're like, hey, I need this by Friday, and they say, you got it, you know, and then it is in on Friday. That would be sweet. The other thing is, like, they don't know each other before this class starts. So interacting in a way that's constructive, and, you know, learning how to criticize without being rude, and learning how to build on each other's skills. And, you know, that's huge. That's something you usually only learn when you start working, is like navigating other people in a way that's constructive and accomplishing a goal, you know? So that's
So one of the hardest things is handling people.
It's hard. It's hard, and you know, you're launching them into it, and they've got to work between each other and work with marketing and go into build, and you know, ask them what they're up to and learn what they're doing, and you know, help with the, you know, photos for the newsletter, and hear their critiques of what we're doing on social media to see if it matches up with their story and all the things that are going into everything. That's a lot. That's a lot of moving parts for a 15, 16, 17-year-old.
It's incredible, yeah, for sure.
I would almost equate that to when I was in business school. I didn't have to work on a level that high until I was maybe like a junior going into senior year, where you had those large projects. We had to scale, you know, a marketing product from, you know, soup to nuts. I mean, I was 20, 21, and look how young they are, and they're learning those skills.
I wish I learned it when I was younger, to be honest.
And I think the last
In like a real world skill, like you're actually competing. It's not like you're just learning it at school, like marketing, and then like you're doing a project together. It's a little different kind of project. For people to understand that, it's breathtaking that you're going against other schools, not just doing a project in your class that is going to be graded by one person. So,
I mean, and the last thing that I'll say I felt is really super important is starting to break into the real world and interact with non-teacher adults. Kids are used to interacting with teachers. You're in school, you're most of your life, you know, up until this point. So, you know,
FDR.
This is a lockdown drill. Please execute your lockdown drill procedures.
Of
Again,
course.
this is a lockdown
Sorry,
drill.
perfect.
Please execute your lockdown drill procedures.
all right, we'll jump back in. So, Sean, now student impact you're seeing.
Student impact is huge. You know, as I said earlier, you're putting kids in a car build class, and you know, you tell them, again, a lot of them come in have no idea really what they're doing. They've seen the cars around, maybe something like that. And then they slowly get the understanding that they're actually the ones that are going to bring this car to a working, functional car in order to be successful in it.
And a race car driver is driving it.
And a professional race car driver's driving it. And it's like, wow, we really got to do it. And the skills that they gain through that from just working with peers, and peers that they have no idea, have never met before. And they form their cliques, but they all kind of come together, and, you know, everybody contributes something to the build. whether it be organizational skills, tool knowledge, instructions. They learn how to read instructions. They've realized really quick that you can't just look at the picture and try to do it, because you need all the torque specs and everything that are associated with it. So they're not coming out of here as car mechanics, so to speak, but they're coming out of here as more developed young adults who have life skills, cold conversations with people they don't know, getting up in front of people, being on camera. It's just...
Are they finding their passion, do you think, in auto? Or
Some of them have, yeah. We've had students go on to we have a student from last year who's now up at Alfred College in a motorsports program that's going to be now inspecting the cars that go up there this year. So it's just kind of ever growing amongst kids who've gone to Dyson Racing and other various avenues.
All right, well, guys, so, I mean, to be just a part of it, just from Healey Brothers' perspective, it's amazing. Like I said before, it's a perfect mesh. It makes so much sense for us to support you guys. So we appreciate everything you do, especially growing young adults, and just to bring them back to more established people and to give back to their communities. It's awesome to see, and it all starts with you guys. So we're super thankful, especially having auto programs in high schools. It's awesome to see.
Evolves,
and
small engine.
And it's impressive, to say the least. I know my dad, uncle, my brothers, when they see the car and they see the videos, they're shocked that young kids and adults are putting that together, and then it's getting raced. And you guys are obviously winning and producing high quality car, not just something that doesn't work. So kudos to all of you. Again, thank you. And Dan, do you have anything else? And Dan, thanks for putting this together. I mean, like I said, perfect mesh, perfect synergy, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Right up our alley, like Jay said. Coupled with just Healey Brothers in general, what we do when we are impacting the community, but also too, it's just investing in the younger generation and making sure that they're, given all the opportunities they can to succeed, while they're in school, but also it helps them, take the skills they learn in the classroom and, leave it and apply it to other aspects of life. Because it's, again, like you guys were saying, it's, these are life skills, and not just things you get graded on. It's purpose driven, and it's remarkable to see.
Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, and follow us at Healey Brothers on all social platforms.